Okay, that's streaming. We are back online. Sorry, everybody, um, if you were with us in our last live stream. I had some internet issues, and hopefully this is resolved, and hopefully this will stay like this. Rajiv ji said that he has to step away for a couple minutes, and meanwhile, I'll be singing song.
I think it's the Taliban who interfered with our stream.
It's possible.
They're very technologically savvy.
Hmm. Yeah. For those of you who are new to this live stream or to this video, we do this every other Thursday. We host this immigration session where Rajiv ji is our immigration lawyer. He answers all the questions which you may have about immigration, only immigration, not love and relationship and all that.
No relationship advice.
Okay, please can somebody confirm? We have about 55 people. Confirm if you can hear us. Abhishek, Mohit, I see all of you saying hi. Can you guys hear us okay?
Hi guys, what's up?
They're too shy. I think my internet is okay now. Okay, they can hear us. Audio is fine. There's a delay. Okay. All right. First question. भाई टूरिस्ट वीजा कब ओपन होगा?
We don't really know actually the way COVID is going. It might get worse, guys,
I think he's
because
isn't it open? My brother said that visa embassies have opened up in Mumbai at least.
well, opened up doesn't mean that they're opened up for everything, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because they have a huge backlog of student visa cases too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one is how long does I-539 take to be approved? What is I?
I-539 is for change of status or extension of status. It usually takes more than 6 months. How much more depends upon how hard you have prayed.
Hmm. Okay. Next one is can I do an internship during tourist visa?
That's a difficult question to answer because if you go to volume 9 of the Foreign Affairs Manual, it's available online. Volume 9 of the Foreign Affairs Manual is the standard operating procedures for visas published by the State Department, and they have to follow all the procedures. If you look under visitors visas, you'll see some permitted activities. Take a look at those. I don't think internship is a problem, but you must not get anything in return. So double check the Foreign Affairs Manual, Volume 9, under visitors/tourist visas.
I didn't know that. Okay. Bhavan is asking after F1 visa, when I'm approved for H1B, I think I can get it for 6 years, 2 times H1B. In this time, my company need to file for green card. So is 6 years enough time for getting done with green card process?
What happens is that once you apply for your green card timely, so you must apply no later than the 5th year. So you have 6 years, apply in the 5th year at the most. And that way, once you have filed the green card, you can keep getting H1B extensions beyond 6 years, pretty much forever.
How long those extension last? Is it like every 3 years extension
There are
or?
two kinds of extensions. AC21 section 104, 106. So 104, I believe, is 3-year extensions if your I-140 is approved. And 106 is 1-year extensions if your green card has been going on for 1 year. So one is stage-based and the other is anniversary-based.
Yeah. All right. Next one is there any problem applying for DV lottery while the EB green card process is going on?
Not at all.
What
No
is
problem.
what is TV?
Apply for green card, diversity visas. Apply for green card through as many categories as you can. You're allowed to do that. So apply through family, apply through DV, apply, get married to a US citizen, apply through a US citizen, knock yourself out.
Okay, I'm going to USA on tourist visa, and if I overstay and convert into green card or citizen, is it legal?
Well, first of all, to have the intention of trying to extend into green card or a long-term visa is itself problematic.
Hmm.
So it can be considered to be a fraudulent entry. Can you do it? Yes, under certain circumstances you can. Please talk to a lawyer, discuss your situation. And the way you said get a green card or citizenship, it tells me that you know very little about immigration. No insult intended. I don't mean to hurt your feelings or anything. What I'm telling you is that you need to do a lot more homework before you make these decisions.
Hmm.
And most of the information is available. Go to any of the government websites, read up on it. You can go to travel.state.gov. You can go to uscis.gov. They have a lot of information that you can gather from there. Spend some time reading up. By the way, in a day or two, you should know enough to know what to do, at least to ask the right questions from a lawyer.
Hmm. Yeah. Repeat question is my uncle is a green card holder in United States. Can he sponsor my masters? Actually, a
Can
little
he
different.
sponsor your masters? In other words, can he be your financial support? Absolutely, yes. Why not? And by the way, I would like to meet your uncle too.
Yep. Okay. What is RFIE for Form I-129? Status got updated yesterday. I have not received the copy yet. Chances
Oh,
of it.
RFE.
Okay.
So it's a request for evidence that has been sent out. So they want more information from you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be attending classes online this year and will join offline or on campus next fall. Should I fear my OPT period also for H1B? My parents are fearful as I would be taking 30 lakhs of students loan.
Well, H1B is not an issue. And you have to read up on the latest memos. I'm a little bit out of touch. I read them all a couple of months ago when they first came out. Basically, ICE extended your student status to cover all those remote situations. You should always begin first from your DSO. Call your designated school official in the International Students Office. Ask them their doubts, but don't take their word for it. I'm not saying that they are not good, but there could be somebody who's not fully informed. It can happen. After you get the information from them, go to studyinthestates.gov. Studyinthestates.gov. This is a website maintained by ICE. You can also go to ICE. You can go to SEVIS. SEVIP has a website of its own. So you can take a look at some of the frequently asked questions. You can also go to some of the universities that I like. I like Berkeley. I like MIT. They usually have good information. You
Hmm.
can look at their information. Go to several sources. Once you've done that, and if you still have a problem, call me or send me an email or LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn.
Okay, next one is it true that we shouldn't work on campus until we get SSN, even though I have a campus job offer letter?
The
Uh,
This is a very weird situation. So technically, you're not required to have an SSN if you are already working or if you have work authorization. You just need a tax ID number, which you can get from the IRS. Okay. But just to avoid complications, we advise people just wait. Let's get your SSN in. Once you have your social security number, things are a lot smoother.
yeah, yeah. And I'm sure the campus people will understand that
They
you're
do.
new to the country
Yeah.
and you need time. Okay.
Mhm.
Next one is from Dushyant Pratap Singh. What a name.
Yeah, I want to call myself that. I like that name. Cool name.
The visa officer approved my visa on 13th August. I got an email that my visa is on hold and it is under
Yeah.
221G, and I
Yeah.
received a yellow slip. They are not asking for any documents, but my classes starts on August 30th. What to
Yeah.
do?
I post this. Didn't I post a, what is it called? Not Instacart, Instagram.
Insta.
Uh, I posted on Instagram, guys. If you follow me there, I posted that, first of all, don't panic. 8 to 12 weeks is not uncommon for the 221G processing. And if your classes are beginning soon, I think you should send an email to the consulate, and you should let the consulate know in the subject line, student 221G, classes begin this date. And then put your message in there. See if they might front load your application. Doesn't hurt to try.
Mm, yeah. Okay. Hey Yudi, if I apply for CPT, will I will get SSN? I don't understand the question.
Yeah.
Yes,
So if I apply for curricular practical training, can I get a social security number? Yes, you can.
but he needs to have a job offer, right?
For CPT, yes, he needs to have a job, and the employer has to sign a cooperative agreement with the university. That's just a letter.
Yeah.
Go to my blog on immigration.com. I have covered CPT, OPT, and STEM OPT on that.
Mm. Okay.
Are you sending me Instagrams?
No, since you announced it, people are now following you.
Oh, they're following. Okay. I was wondering what's going on.
Uh,
Okay. Got it.
yeah. What are the chances of getting visa approved after 221G? So it's
Very
the
good.
same
Very
question.
good. I have talked to no less than 100 students with this problem, including a young man I know from Toastmasters who's coming to New York. And he was very worried. And we were able to, he just got his visa done. It took him about, I think, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. A lot of people.
Yeah.
I've
Akanksha
not heard
is,
anybody getting denied after 221G.
yeah. Akanksha is saying on-campus job pays too less. I don't think we can work off-campus on F1 visa. Is that true? Please clarify. Yes, that is true. You cannot work
That is
off-campus.
true. There is something called economic necessity. Look it up. Economic necessity, EAD, F1 student. Google that term. It should pull up some information for you. See what the parameters are. I don't know off the top of my head, but that's something that exists.
But on campus also, Akanksha, there are so many other. I mean, if you're looking
Yeah.
only for like cafeteria jobs, maybe the pay is like gonna be minimum wage. But I think there are jobs which people are not exploring, so you should try looking up.
Yeah.
How does pure vegetarian student can survive? I'm a pure
Hey,
vegetarian. Me
hey.
too.
Survive very well.
Yeah, you
And
get.
Amazon.com has all your dals and rice and spices. And in fact, some of the organic spices you can get on Amazon.com are amazing.
You order it from Amazon? I just go to.
Everything.
Really? Wow.
Everything. I
That's.
never go to Indian stores ever.
I actually go because to get the feeling that I'm in India, to see the
Yeah, I don't need
stores.
that. I'm okay without that feeling.
Uh, okay. My friend's fiance got deported while arriving on F1 visa. Will there be any issue if she's tried to apply for H4 visa now during visa interview or at the border security?
Okay, so let's not confuse the terms. Deportation or removal means you're already in the United States. And they say, okay, you have to leave. But if you're at the border at the airport, when they deny you entry, it's called admission. Admission was denied. You were not allowed to enter. Okay.
Mm.
So when they deny admission, they do one of the two ways. One way is that they say, okay, listen, you've got these problems, you're a naughty person, you're going to have to withdraw your application for admission. And if you don't, we will formally hold you inadmissible, which means you cannot come back for 5 years. Okay. So the crucial thing here is to figure out, guys, whether or not Jerome or Francois, whatever that young man's name is, whether he was declined entry formally or he was allowed to withdraw his admission. If he was allowed to withdraw his application for admission, no problem with H4. But if he was formally declined, then he's got a problem.
So why would someone like formally withdraw their application at the entry point?
Hey, I give you a choice. Yudi, you're standing at the airport. I'm going to say no to your entry. Then you can't come back for 5 years. Or you can say, I want to go back. You can come back again.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Call me to do that, Yudi. You're not going to be able to figure it out, okay? Just
Yeah.
call me.
I will. Okay. I got visa refused first time when I applied for ESL core. I think it's English course. And the person didn't check my documents. Even I completed my bank balance. Please help me out. What should I do? Next date is in September.
Why was it denied?
And there's no reason mentioned.
So they have to give you a reason. If this was a student visa, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it was denied for 214B as in boy, look at Australia, New Zealand, UK. You're not going to be able to make it to US. Not on a student visa. You can come on H1 once you're done with your studies. Because 214B simply means this. Yudi, I don't believe you're going to come back. You look like you're going to stay here illegally. I am denying your application. That's very difficult to challenge because it's a judgment call. Okay. The only time I was able to successfully actually get an F1 denial on 214B reversed was many, many years ago on very unique grounds. So that doesn't happen very frequently. Most chances are you should be looking at other countries, Canada, New Zealand, other countries, anything except America. 214B denials, very difficult to overcome. Don't waste your money. I tell people sometimes that you have a difficult case. Somebody left a nasty comment on our Google site, and Google keeps telling me you have to respond. I said, yeah, I'm not going to respond to stupid stuff. Somebody said, well, you told us that, we are out of status, we have a difficult case, et cetera, et cetera. Then look, man, I don't want to spend, I get paid whether you win or you lose. I have no problem telling you, you have a great case, let's do it. So when somebody calls me with 214B, I'll tell them, I'm not going to waste your money. You want me to do it, I'll do it. I get paid. I have no problem. I don't get paid for results. But it is a very difficult case to win. 214B denials are simply, I've never heard of anybody except our own firm getting a reversal once in 30 years of my practice. And we've tried it a few times.
Okay. Next question is, my university deferred me along with other students from fall to spring as seats filled up for fall intake. I was ready to fly for fall. Can I travel for spring intake without facing issues at immigration?
You shouldn't face any issues because it's the school that did it.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem. Oh, double check with your DSO. You probably will need an updated I-1, I-20, etc. So just make sure you have the right documents. But immigration-wise, I don't see any problem. And remember, this is a common issue. This is not, COVID-19 has us doing new procedures all the time. So I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah. This one is so interesting. I don't remember if it is the same guy, but he's saying my F1 visa was rejected 11 times. I was so nervous and it was denied by 214B since my father is an illegal immigrant, but I never stated that in any form.
So the problem is, first of all, think about it this way. What would you think if you were the consular officer? A young man or a young lady shows up 11 times. Okay, it doesn't look good. So if you've been denied, I have a friend who actually got it after one denial, but that was a very unusual case. He got an assistantship to PhD in MIT. So everything was fully paid off. Plus, they gave him money. So when he went and talked with them and said, look, I've got this admission. I don't understand what is going on. He was not able to present his case the first time around. So very unusual for it to happen. And if it has been denied 11 times, you know it's very difficult. But remember one thing, if you have not lied and the 214B denial only exists, not 212A, which is fraud and all, you can come back in on other visas, O1, H1, H4, L1, L2. All these visas have no 214B problem. Just don't lie about anything. Okay, in your case, you've concealed the fact, you've got a problem. You cannot come back to the United States forever. This is a permanent bar from entering USA.
Does software engineer developer come under national interest exception for H1B? What are the chances of rejection?
They can. If you look at, I have an article, I think I put it on Economic Times also. If you go to my author page on the Economic Times, if you just type Rajiv S. Khanna, Economic Times, it should bring you to my author page. I've written a synopsis of what national interest exceptions are. And if you want a more expanded version of it, you can go to immigration.com to our website and look at my blogs. Link to my blogs in the top left on our site, immigration.com. So look at them. Software developers, definitely. By the way, developer engineer is the same thing. The only difference between a programmer and a developer/engineer is that developer engineer does everything that a programmer does, plus they do system design. Programmers don't design.
Yeah. First, I didn't know that you call your last name as Khanna. I thought it was Khanna.
Well, I call myself Khanna, but here, if I say Khanna, then I don't know what anybody is going to spell. Okay. The best name I've been called was the judge's secretary, who used to always call me Roger O'Connor. She just, I was like, hey, I don't mind. As long as you got the approximate name, I'm good with it. Roger Connor.
That's good, Connor. All right, next question is, I would be going to do a JD. I don't know what is JD, but
JD is our law degree. He's my brother to be.
Yeah, Rima is her name.
He's my brother to be.
Yeah.
Brothers come in both genders.
So if I take up a dual degree with it, such as MS or MBA, then would my complete degree be considered as a STEM degree?
Oh, so if you have a dual degree and the other degree is a STEM degree, I don't know the answer to that question. Check with your DSO, double check with the government websites, and if you still don't have the answer, connect with me on LinkedIn, just send me a message, or my email is help@immigration.com, help@immigration.com. I try to answer as many questions as I can. Sometimes you ask me very difficult questions that are impossible to answer, but I'll give my best shot.
Sayed is asking, if I am, what if I don't get a job in my field of study? Am I eligible to stay on STEM OPT for 3 years after completing master's?
No. See, the first year of OPT is very easygoing. First year OPT says you can get a 20-hour job. STEM OPT also, you can get a 20-hour each week job. But on OPT, you can even volunteer. You don't have to have a paid job. So, for example, we had a young intern who said, give me a project. So we gave her a project. And she was working 20 hours. She certified her time. We made sure that she gave us the proper documents, certifications. But she was okay on OPT. So you can even volunteer, and it only has to be 20 hours. You can even consult. I had a young friend, actually the daughter of a friend in New York. She was a graphics designer. On OPT, she was doing private consulting, and she could keep track of her hours because she built the projects. And when you build the project by the hour, you keep track of your hours. So that part is easy. But once you get into STEM OPT, you've got to have one employer. You could probably have multiple employers, but it's complicated, it can be done. You've got to have at least 20 hours each week, paid employment, and paid according to prevailing wage standards. announced by the US Department of Labor.
Okay.
You don't have that on CPT. On curricular practical training, none of those restrictions except having an employer exist.
Okay. That was a good question. Where did... Oh, yeah. In my experience letter, job title is program analyst, but in my LCA, it is software engineer. But the same job duties in both LCA and experience letter. Would that be a problem while applying for perm
Why
or...
why does that question sound so familiar? I don't know if you have sent me a message on LinkedIn or somebody asked me the exact same question. Look, no matter what Department of Labor says, in the computer industry, in the technology industry, titles are quite misleading. You can have a programmer who's actually a project leader. You can have a project leader who actually doesn't lead anything, basically just manages their own time. You can have a software developer who develops nothing, just does testing. You can have a software engineer who does nothing but systems analysis. So all these titles mishmash. The most important thing is the job description. Okay? I like to have consistency because it avoids questions, unnecessary delays. So if possible, whenever possible, have them give you consistent titles. But the problem is with the experience letter, which you're going to use for your green card. And I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. Just make sure when your lawyers draft your PERM application, they give the whole job description. So there's no issue if the government starts comparing your H-1B papers, which is your background, with what is being said on your PERM application. So make sure the job description is accurate and complete. No problem. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Next one is my employer promised me to send me to US on L1B. Should I ask my employer to file for H1B or green card for extending my stay that more than 5 years? Which one is better?
L1B does not get extended by green card. So what you do is come on L1B and keep applying for H1 every year. In the meantime, start your green card. Once you get H1, then you can keep extending them. By the way, the time you spend on L1 is subtracted from your H1.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can't go from L1 to green card?
You can, but you can't extend L1 because your green card is
Oh,
pending.
yeah. Got it. Okay.
You can extend H1, but not L1.
Got it. Okay. All right. Bruce Wayne, nice. Is asking, I have a B1, B2 visa reject in 2019. Will that affect my F1 visa?
What was the ground for rejection, Bruce? Tell me the ground.
Did you see, I don't know, are you Marvel fan at all?
I'm a big fan of anything science fiction or fantasy.
Did you see the Spider-Man trailer?
I haven't, no.
Oh man, you should watch it. It's so good. They're mixing. I was blown away that they're mixing Spider-Man and Doctor Strange together. So
I love Doctor Strange. He's such a dude.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. All right, can I change my grad school while I'm on a F1 visa? Yes, you can.
Yeah, of course. But one thing, going back to the gentleman who had put a message about denial. So if the denial is on 214B grounds, that will be the same problem for your F1. If the denial is on a fraud basis, you can never come to the US.
Yeah, looks like he said reason for B1, B2 was potential immigrant.
Yeah, 214B. Same problem with F1, but you never know. You might get lucky. Who knows, right? As long as you don't tell any lies, as long as you don't misrepresent anything, you should try it honestly. What can they say? They can only say no, right? They're not going to have you shot at dawn. But it's okay.
Can F1 visa...
Can you imagine? Taliban might do that. You apply for a visa. Hey, shoot him.
Yeah. Can F1 visa apply for asylum and stay in United States and can work?
I don't do asylum cases. No idea. Can they? Yes. Do they? Yes. Can they work? I don't know. I don't know how the asylum process works.
Yeah.
No asylum, no refugee. I only do straightforward immigration, complex immigration cases within that straightforward immigration, employment based, family based, investment based, entrepreneurs, EB1As, artists, all those kind of people.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of requests on doing a session just like how we did on EB1. EBs, they were asking to do a session on O1.
Yeah, yeah. O1 is very similar to EB1, very, very similar.
Yeah.
The only thing is they're a little easygoing on O1s because it's a temporary visa. I've seen some pretty weird cases being approved and some pretty good cases being denied. A lot of inconsistency. Yeah, but we can talk about it. Not a problem.
All right. Next one is I took an early withdrawal after coming to university and went back to India in 2019 without taking
Okay.
any classes. My
Okay.
F1 visa is valid till January 2024. Will I be eligible for 3 years of OPT after MS if I start in 2022?
Okay. First of
Uh,
all, let's not conflate many of these issues.
yeah,
There are
yeah,
different issues.
yeah.
Let's put them asunder. Let's parse them up. First of all, can you use the same visa to enter? I have my doubts. Technically, yeah, you have the visa, but there's such a gap, huge gap in that you were supposed to be here studying. So I don't know if that visa should be used. Doesn't hurt to check with the consulate, send them an email, number one. Number two, whether or not you can get OPT and then STEM OPT extension depends only upon a couple of things. You can get OPT if you have been in student status for the last 2 semesters, 9 months or the last 2 semesters. Okay. So when can you get STEM OPT? As long as you've maintained your status in OPT, you worked for 20 hours, paid or unpaid, and your degree is a STEM degree, and then you have a job with an employer who's willing to go through the hoops, minor hoops for the STEM OPT extension. It has nothing to do with you withdrawing early and leaving. That is not, you didn't do anything illegal, you just didn't complete it. So that's fine.
Mm. Okay. Hi Yudi, my H1B got picked and petition is in case received status. I want to switch, but I don't believe my current employer will give me I-767 approval notice. Can I just use case? I would
Yeah.
for
So we've had cases. There are 2 issues here. One is a minor issue, what we just talked about. One is a major issue. The minor issue is I don't have an approval notice. Can I still transfer? I think so. I think so. We've done it many times. So basically just give the name of the employer, the previous employer, and attach an explanation that I don't have the notice. Government has that information. Number one. But the more difficult issue is, what if you leave before October 1st and the employer revokes your H1B? In that case, you will lose your place in the queue. You would lose your quota exemption. You are back in quota. So if you transfer after October 1st or your employer revokes after October 1st, that would be better for you.
yeah, correct. Yeah, so
Although
I feel
I must confess that I find that's a little odd. Government's interpretation is a little odd, but it is what it is.
one of my I don't know. I don't. He was one of our subscriber. He told me that his company filed for H1B. It wasn't approved yet. Like it got picked, but wasn't approved yet. And he changed his company, but his old company removed the petition.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, oh, that sucks, because
yeah.
now.
People can be so weird, man. I just don't. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Aman Kumar is asking, in case of change of employer, does my dependents have to go for visa stamping again, considering
No,
their
no, 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 no. So if you are talking about H1, H4, or even F1, F2, if they have an H4 already and you are maintaining your status and you're just simply changing employers 1, 2, or 20 times, they can use the same H4.
Yeah, it is for H4. Yep. Where is your grocery guy? Is he not coming?
Well, it's Whole Foods. They're usually pretty 2 to 4. They'll show up. I'm waiting for my sushi, man.
Oh, nice. Not cooking today.
Oh, I've already cooked. I have food.
So sushi is different.
And it's kind of a side.
Appetizer.
No
Appetizer.
Punjabi can ever be full with sushi, man.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is I have 5 years of IT experience. If I get F1 visa rejection, should that be problem for L1B visa interview?
Oh, as long as the denial is not based upon fraud, they can deny you 20 times. I don't care. L1, H1, L2, all these are exempt from the 214B problem. So you're fine. Have no fear. Go for it.
Hmm. Okay. Next, my H1B got picked, but my marriage-based petition is also going on in USCIS. If
That's fine.
I get 131 and 765 combo card, do I need to stamp my H1B visa?
You do not. What happens is if you have an advanced parole, which is your permission to travel, and you have an H1B, but you don't have a visa stamp, you travel and you come back on advanced parole. As long as you take up the same job that you were doing, you are still considered to be on H1B, even though you have no visa and you traveled out and came back using your advanced parole. So absolutely no problem. You do not need to get it stamped.
Yeah. All right. Oops. That was a good question. I lost it. Now we have 200 people, so there are like a lot
In,
of
in,
questions.
in more ways than one, Yudi.
Okay, what are good options for EB5 investment as regional center expired?
Well, see, EB5 is such another odd little bird. We've done so many EB5s for direct investments. I've done more direct investments than regional centers.
What does regional center mean?
It's basically a pre-approved scheme. So you and I decide, you know what, Yudi, we can build a shopping mall. Okay. And that's going to cost us about $100 million. So we need to raise $100 million.
Mhm.
But we are opening the mall and we are going to create so many jobs directly or indirectly. So you create this business plan and you get it approved by the government.
Mm.
So if your investment proceeds according to plan, you are allowed to have X number of people as investors.
Mm.
That's like a pre-approved financial scheme. But that doesn't mean the government is going to protect your money. These guys could run away with your money.
Mm.
Okay. So that's a pre-approved scheme. Direct investment is when you and I decide, okay, you know what, we are going to open a video production company.
Mm.
Okay. So you put in 100,000, I put in 400,000 because you're better looking. We'll let you get away with less. Okay. So we put that money. I'm already a US citizen. You have to put in the 500,000. It's a bad example. But the idea is that you can have your own business. And if you
Mm.
do it in a targeted area, such as economically backward, rural area, any one of those. And by the way, sometimes even downtown can be a targeted employment area because there are not enough jobs there. You can invest only 500,000. It had gone up to 900,000. Now they've got dropped back to 500,000 because they lost a case. So direct investment, you decide what business you want to do. So you said, what are the options? The world is your oyster. If you want to go in a target employment area, decide what kind of business you want to run. You can even buy an existing business, especially if it's a troubled business.
If you do decide, please be friends with me and Rajiv ji.
Yeah, you are our best friend. Please. We like you very much.
Next question is on 12th of this month, uh, he, I think he got request for initial evidence, RFIE, and very
Mhm.
next day it was changed to request for additional information, which is RFE. Right now, waiting to receive RFE in a hand to my employer. Yeah. Like,
Okay. Don't worry about it. I tell people if you go to a temple, you get prasad. If you file petitions, you get RFUs. It's a natural corollary of your filing. Think of it as prasad and put both hands out like that.
even I got RFE, but for my
Everybody. Yeah.
yeah, mine was more about the positions, my role. Okay, next one is what happens if my picked H1B gets denied after even RFE? Can I still work on my remaining STEM OPT?
It gets tricky. Okay. Talk to your DSO. They can data fix your service because what happens is once you filed for a change of status, the DSO is going to revoke your service because they think you're going to go into H1B. But if the H1B is denied, you get back to your DSO and say, you need to data fix, put me back on STEM OPT. They should.
Okay. Next question and probably last one because I have to go back to my meeting. Is I have a video production company registered in
Oh,
India.
he stole our idea.
And leave to USA for my F1 visa next year. Can I still work on small projects in USA while I'm on H1B visa? But the company is in India.
Yeah, I see. Here's the interesting thing. We had this debate, and I think I mentioned it before. Some of my colleagues were saying, if there is absolutely no connection with USA, none of my money comes from USA, I don't have any projects in USA, I don't even have a bank account in USA, then what objection could there be? And at one point, USCIS was agreeing with that. They never said that explicitly, but they excused people implicitly. I am reluctant to say that's okay. My approach is if you're working on US soil, a US worker could be doing that job. Therefore, you should not do that job. That's my opinion. I have absolutely zero grounds to say this is the only opinion possible.
Okay, I think we will keep it till here. Sorry for the short session. Next one will be longer. Hopefully, I'll fix my internet before we join.
Let me know, Yudi, if we can do something from here also, because I can always step in for you
Yeah,
if it is needed. I
yeah,
don't know how we would do that, but you figure that out.
I
You
will
are the
figure.
tech guy. Just tell
Yes,
me which button to press.
yes. Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks everybody, and see you guys soon. Bye. Bye,
See you
Rajiv
all.
ji.
Stay safe, stay well, and don't worry about RFUs. They come and they go.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Yudi.
Bye.
Be well.